come to me. Feel alright. Oh wow. Nice, 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 nice. Glare? Nice. In 4. Easy work. Luvion, how's it going, man? Bullseye, how's it going? Yes, we finally got the new profile pic updated. The commission came back, all finished. I'm good, Bullseye. How you doing, man? Good on you. Alright. Bug, how's it going? Nice, nice. Luvion, how's your day going? Ouija board, excuse me? Okay. Okay, Ouija board, seance, medium, spirit. Shit. I was thinking. Feel alright. I feel better today. I feel much more well rested. Certainly. My neck is hurting a little bit, but I'm good. I feel good beyond that. So I only set the stream to like 41, but if we feel okay, we might keep going a little bit more in chapters as well. Okay. Okay, sage. I don't know what the fuck this word is. Courage, heart, spirit. Anyone else see such a word? Backbone. Nice. Fortitude. Close your eyes. Computer keyboard. Platform. Outlet. It's African island nation? Did you just... Okay, Bug. Real question. Did you know that? Or did you look it up? Because if you knew that, that's really impressive. I'm not accusing you either way, I'm just asking. I know every country. Every country. I don't know if I believe you. Satan. Shit. Seance. No. Venue. Platform. Medium. Outlet. Hop on VC and you will know. I will. Okay. I might take you up on that. Okay. After stream, I might take you up on that. Okay. No, we've got 2 chances. Now, I have like, there's really good odds, okay? Because I have to get 4 out of 8. Anyone have any ideas on this? Okay. Shit, 1 away. Fuck. Okay, sit. Fuck. Where does this start with say? Oh no! That's... Oh. Things featuring letters A through Z? Hmm? Oh, I see. Man, I wish Cuttlefish at the very least releases an entire catalog of the pathway abilities if it decides not to write Lord of the Mysteries content. I hope he just decides to write book 3, and that would be ideal, but at this point I'm not holding my breath on that. Day, 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 night. Night, sleep. Sleep, thus sleep. Thus, eventually. Sleep, eventually. Awake. Wake. Alarm. Wake, alarm, eventually. Nightmare. Immersion. Dream? Time? Time. Very good. So obvious. So obvious, yet I don't know. My mind was stuck on some weird fucking train of thought. Time. So obvious. Very good, Livion. Nailed. Let's do When Taken. It's been so long since we've played. Don't le sais. No. Okay, this motherfucker's having one hell of a day. Probably eating potato chips and drinking whiskey in the middle of the day. What a guy. Definitely English letters. So English-speaking country. Yeah, my mind went to like dream for some reason. Dream, nightmare, some bullshit. I don't know. What do you mean rip? This guy has the fucking immune system of a Greek god. Nothing's happening to him. Look at this guy. He's just taking a nap before he finishes the rest of that. I don't know, whiskey, bourbon, rye, I don't know. For some reason, this is giving me really like Ukrainian vibes. But all the English is telling me that it can't be that. Otherwise, it would have been like Cyrillic. So I'm thinking like, fuck me. What is happening? I'm thinking like, what's a pathway you really like but would never pick if you had the option? Demon S. We'll go with Germany. But why is this shit lagging like such a bitch? Oh, movie year. 1980s, late 80s. Berlin in 1990. That was damn near perfect. That makes me think that says Nokia. Abyss is cool, but it's not for myself. That's fair. That makes me think it's Nokia. I don't know what country Nokia is from, because no one after the, I don't know, fucking 90s has one, so I don't know. Oh, maybe. Yakrot. Definitely some Kurt. I don't know. Hotel, so certainly in English. This is giving me very American vibes. Does that make any sense? You should know what it was. You should know it was real big in the 90s, the peak of your life. You think the 90s was the peak of my life? Motherfucker, I've lived for a long time. 90s was like, The 50s, that was a great fucking time, I'm not gonna lie to you. Finland, 37. Merlin, how's it going, man? Long time no see. Okay, where is this? Where is this? Turkey. Good. Turkey? Turkey, I'm pretty sure. Turkey, yeah, it is Turkey. Okay, what I thought. No, better question, where the fuck is Turkey on a map? Yemen, Turkey. We'll go with Istanbul. 2018. My exams are finally over. Nice shit, man. How you feeling? How do you think you did? That's fucking awesome, dude. Oh, good shit. I don't know when Romero's exams end. I feel like they're at the start of November, I think. Where would this be? Certainly a tropical nation. These types of trees don't grow like mainland anywhere. Tropical nation. So weirdly enough, I swear it's not because of Plague. How's it going? I swear it's not because of Romero, but I'm thinking Sri Lanka. Is that crazy? Tropical nation. These types of everything went well except for math. It was decent. Fuck it. Hey, listen, one bad subject you can make up for. Don't even worry about it, dude. But I'm so fucking glad to hear that, man. I'm so happy for you. Good shit. We'll go with Sri Lanka. Fuck it. Is it Sri Lanka? Probably not. Do I give a fuck? Certainly not. American Samoa. Fuck me. This makes me think like Australia or something. Oh, Museo CNS. Free, more like transferring to a different prison? What do you mean? Museo Ciencias? Oceanographic. This makes me think like Spanish, I think. The language, I think. So if it's a Spanish-speaking country, that makes me go to like Brazil would be Portuguese, which I guess technically this could be. I don't actually know what Portuguese looks like written. It might be the same. I don't know. But it might also be like Argentina. I don't know. Nah, we're gonna stick to our original guess. We're gonna go with Brazil. We'll go with Sao Paulo. Just that finishing school doesn't really. Oh yeah. The only freedom in this life is death, Plague. Don't ever forget that. Spain. Fucking Christ. I went to Spanish. Didn't even think of Spain. Fuck me. All right, it's 33. Let's get going. What chapter am I starting from? 38. Thank you. The Olympians. Ooh. It ended... Oh, shit. Yes, I remember. I remember where we ended yesterday. Very good. It ended as well as expected, with Ryan naked and shackled to the bed, a maniacal Vulcan in a black nightgown on one side and a plushie on the other. It was all a trap, the courier accused. You only cared about the plushie. Very good, Ryan, Jasmine said, playing with her knife. The inactive plushie looked on while sitting on a chair. Now tell me everything you know about it. I would, but I look down on short people. If you won't talk, Jasmine put the knife up against his chin and her free hand on his chest. I'll make you squeal. Don't look, Ryan said to his plushie, trying to avert its gaze. Please, don't look. A phone called in the other room, interrupting the Coldplay. Ugh, Jasmine let out a heavy sigh. Ugh, give me a second, she said, stepping over an empty condom box before searching for her cell phone among the clothes on the ground. Ryan whistled while she moved out of the bedroom to answer the call. As it turned out, Vulcan didn't live in a luxurious villa, but inside her own foundry, she had repurposed the upper echelon area into a spacious, soundproof apartment in an elegant steampunk style. Brass pipes and tin gears formed the main decoration, although Vulcan had also embedded a plasma TV in the bedroom's walls facing the bed. Did someone say Coldplay? No. It was also rather cozy and even included a litter box for Eugene Henri, although Vulcan clearly didn't clean the place often. Jasmine eventually returned, rolling her eyes. Was it Mr. Monsanto again? Ryan asked. Neptune. He's pissed about last night and wants to have a meeting because he's a pussy. She let her nightgown fall on the ground, raised the bedsheet and slipped below. Her naked skin brushed up against the career's own, although she didn't undo his shackles. Ryan? Yes? Don't ever call me short again. Come on, Jasmine. Be a bigger person. He's such a piece of shit. Her knife hit the wall behind the bed, a few inches from the career's face. Ryan didn't even blink. By now, he had learned that her bark was worse than her bite. Though bite him, she did. You're lucky to be good in the sack, so you get to live another day, Vulcan said, resting her head against his shoulder. How many women have you had? I lost count. Practice makes perfect. I figured. I'm not reading this. This is disgusting. Jesus Christ. It's on screen if you want to read it. Fuck you. Jasmine glanced at the rabbit watching them. Actually, what is that plushie? Some pieces just don't make any sense. And I don't know what to make of the energy readings. I tried to use it as a probe to explore a higher dimension, Ryan admitted. And? It worked? Not really. All it did was allow something from the other side to hitch a free ride to our dimension, and now it won't leave. Wait, you're saying your rabbit is haunted? Ryan nodded, and much to his horror, it made Jasmine even more curious. That dimension, can you describe it? It's a space beyond space and it's an area beyond space and time. I haven't been able to observe it much. Why? Oh, so it's the purple world that he's referring to. Okay. Don't be a bitch, read it to us. Fuck you, that's disgusting. No, I'm not reading that. You know that red genomes can manipulate energy from lightning to wavelengths? Ryan nodded. Well, red genomes, real red genomes, actually emit an energy field around them, like radiation. This ambient energy, red flux as I call it, can be captured, stockpiled, and refined to make batteries. That's how Dynamis makes laser weapons. And you think this energy comes from another dimension? Ryan asked. I think so, and Dynamis does too, she replied. That firebrand knockoff elixir alters genes so a genome could perform pyrokinesis, but it doesn't link to the red dimension. So the body only uses the energy available, that of the body. That's how your fireman armor enhances their pyrokinesis, Ryan guessed. You take the batteries meant for laser weapons and transfer the red flux to the genome. Yes, they become just as powerful as the original pyrokinetic genome the knockoff was based on. As long as the battery keeps flowing, of course. Dynamis has been wasting fortunes in an attempt to create a bridge towards that hypothetical red dimension, though they haven't managed it. That flux, do you think genomes with other colors produce variants? I suppose, but I haven't been able to observe them. Red is energy, so it's easy to measure. And since almost all red genomes have offensive applications, my powers have a pretty easy time. But how do you measure life with, like, green genomes? She gave him a knowing smile, though if you told me the truth of your power, we could work on it together. You know about my power? True power? Look, that bullshit you told Pluto about how your power really works? You were just pulling our legs. I thought we did that this morning, she chuckled. Why didn't you call my bluff? Because I'm curious, Jasmine replied. You're smart, funny, and the perfect gentleman. Yet it's obvious you've got your own agenda. I'm just trying to help a friend in need, and find happiness. I don't think that's all there is, Jasmine said. You joined this org as a stepping stone for something. It's fine. I'm not particularly loyal to the Augustus either. But I'm pretty sure your power is something world-changing. I don't see why you'd be afraid to reveal it to Pluto otherwise. Ryan shrugged it off. I think it's a bit too early to tell. Vulcan sat on his chest. Then what will we be, Ryan? I don't know. A summer fling, Ryan said. I don't want to get too attached, and you're probably going to forget me soon anyway. You won't forget me, though. I can promise you that. If only she knew. I'm fine with a summer fling, but as I've told you before, it's an exclusive contract. Cheat on me and I'll fucking kill you. If you can do the fucking before the kill, I would appreciate it. She tapped him slightly in response. Hey, you've got a fucking attitude problem, you know that? But I'll tame you. You know how to cook? She asked. Yeah, good, because I don't. We've got enough time for one more round and breakfast before the meeting. It's Jamie who's going to be pretty unhappy, Ryan pointed out. I was supposed to help him clean up the house in the morning. Well, I'm higher in the hierarchy, so that's an order. Entertain me, minion. Ryan stopped time in response. When it resumed, Jasmine was shackled to the bed, the two having switched positions. Fuck, she said. You can actually stop time? You're gonna tell me everything about Ishia Island, Miss Sheriff, Ryan said, his body towering over her. We have ways of slipping past your defense. Narcinia is 14, Jasmine smirked. Too old for you. In this case, I will have to pump you for information. Vulcan tried to keep a straight face, but ended up laughing. After dressing up and eating a delicious breakfast, Vulcan carried the duo all the way to Mount Augustus with her mech. Obviously, Ryan had put on the cashmere suit, delighting in its glamour and softness. Augustus's estate had looked enormous from afar, and it was even more impressive from above. Ryan estimated it was about 50 hectares. Can I be honest with you? I know I know hectares is like a fucking unit of measure for like area and shit. I have no fucking idea how big that is. Like, I don't even have a fucking frame of concept. Located atop a heavily defended hill, the complex included a vast amount of monuments, the most impressive being the copy of the Parthenon to the east. Can you type any louder? No. An enormous multi-floor Roman villa covered roughly a third of the area, a marble palace worthy of a Roman emperor. Most of the land, however, had been repurposed into the vast park, including Roman-themed sculptures, flower gardens, Versailles-styled fountains, and a freaking zoo. They have giraffes, Ryan said. The sheer luxury of this place awed even the jaded Time-Stopper. Vulcan ended up landing near the swimming pool next to the villa. Though a private sea would have been a better term. The enormous body of water was separated into smaller basins, some with fish, some without. A group awaited them atop a marble terrace, relaxing in the sun. Livia among them, sunbathing in a one-piece swimsuit next to Narcinia. Augustus's daughter raised her eyes at Ryan and Vulcan as they emerged together from the mech. Pluto was reading a novel on a folding beach chair near her niece, keeping a mummified head on the table nearby. She looked oddly peaceful for a mass murderer. Finally, a group of older people discussed around a table near the villa, drinks in hand. One was a priest in his 50s with a receding grey hairline. He was so lanky that Ryan could see the bones below his skin. But his black eyes oozed a frightening, almost maddened insanity. Every move was very calculated, and he drank water instead of cocktails. The priest, whom Ryan suspected to be Bacchus, was talking with a man entirely cloaked in thick armor. His equipment was heavily inspired by a Roman centurion's dress, though it covered every part of the body and included a crimson cloak. The helmet included a metal face mask, and the time traveler couldn't see the eyes beneath. The only woman of the group was a blonde woman in her 40s, straight out of a Playboy magazine. She kept her hair in a bun and wore an ancient Roman-style dress adorned with gemstones. Receding hairline? Welcome back to Dun. Wait, receding hair? Where's the receding hairline? Ah, the priest, I see. Though he could only see the lower part of her face and sapphire eyes due to a golden-plated masquerade mask, Ryan noted a family resemblance with Fortuna of that woman's jawline. The last man around the table was clearly the oldest, somewhere in his 60s. He had dyed his hair and thick long beard blue, which complemented his eyes. He wore no mask except a golden diadem? Diadem? I don't know what this is. Diadem.
Diadem.
Diadem, I see. except a golden diadem and dressed in an elegant navy blue business suit, including seashells as part of the design. The old man glared instantly at Ryan and Vulcan upon seeing them, leaving the table with a dark look on his face. Much like Pluto and Minerva. That's Neptune, Jasmine pointed out. I could tell, Ryan replied. Waves were starting to form out of nowhere in the swimming pool. Clearly, he was jealous of the courier's better suit. Can he drain the water within us with a thought? Thankfully not, his girlfriend smirked. His girlfriend! Aw, that's so cute. He's an orange, so organic matter interferes with his powers. Besides, he's a macro-hydrokinetic. The bigger the water volume, the greater his control. The priest is Bacchus, the couple are Mars and Venus, and the head is Mercury. I imagine him taller. Mercury's a paranoid loon who doesn't leave his home, Vulcan snickered. He can reanimate corpses and command them, so he sends them out. Ryan! Vulcan! Narcinia waved. Welcome to Mount Olympus, Livia said, although she didn't rise up from her chair. A true queen. We were just discussing yesterday's events. I admit, you were right. I couldn't anticipate anything like it. Did we win a prize? Personally, I would settle for a statue in my honor. Marble or gold, Livia replied. Examining his suit, she said, I love it. It's classy. Oh, I could add a few flowers if you want, Narcinia said. Nah, I used all my weed killer on Blackthorn, Ryan said. The banter was interrupted by a very furious Neptune. You little, irresponsible brats! I should drown the both of you right now. Could you do it in Coca-Cola? Ryan asked. Much to his surprise, Vulcan didn't smash his foot to silence him. It's like being drowned in acid, Jasmine told him. Diabetes acid. Yeah, so my death will be quicker. Do you have any idea what you did? Neptune thundered. Vulcan, you and your soldiers could have sparked an all-out war. Uncle, they did it on my orders, Livia spoke. I will take full responsibility. It was still stupid, Neptune snarled. Blackthorn labeled your prank as a terrorist attack, promising retaliation. Enrique must have suppressed the part where I undressed and put on the suit, Ryan said. Pluto, who had been listening to the conversation, clearly struggling to maintain her laughter, much to Ryan's shock. Neptune glared at her. Am I the only one here who sees the problem with this fiasco? We were young once too, Silvio, Pluto replied, more amused than anything else. What's wrong with letting them indulge a little? I strongly suspect Hector Manava to have hired the Hector gang to harass us, Livia said. This was a calculated attempt to put them back in their place. By stealing a suit? Her uncle asked. Did you summon us to bitch about it? Jasmine asked. Because we got important shit to do. This is also the matter of Mercury's replacement, Livia said. As we discussed in our previous meeting, I stand by my decision to retire, the mummified head spoke. I've grown too old for this. Marco, the last time I met you in the flesh, you were lively for someone past 90, Ryan said, turning to the speaker. The Roman cosplayer had risen from his table to meet the group, his wife holding his arm. Bacchus followed his hands behind his back. You're still one of our best. I personally know someone older than you with a youthful attitude, Pluto said, while giving Ryan a smile. I've lived through 3 generations of Camorra children, yours included, the talking head said. I'm weary. I've earned more money than I could ever spend, and I have no family left. It is time I buy a private island and spend the rest of my days drinking margaritas on the beach. This will wait until after their punishment, Neptune said. For what? For giving Dynamis their due? Venus spoke. Did you see Felix during your attack, Vulcan? Vulcan shook her head. No, only Blackthorn. They didn't react fast enough to send heroes after us. A shame, the Centurion greeted Ryan before shaking his hand. Greetings, I am Mars, though you can call me Luca. I appreciate you looking for my daughter at that party. We had goat fights, Narcinia said. Oh, by the way, what happened to my goat, Ryan asked. Is she okay? A guy and his girlfriend took her home, Narcinia said. They said they would put her to good use, but when I asked which one, they just put a head on my hand. What? They just put a hand on my head and smiled. Mars burst out laughing, while Venus glared at her husband. I've got enough with a cat, Jasmine whispered to Ryan's ear. I'm not taking a goat. Well, I admit, I'm torn, Ryan whispered. I don't know where she has loitered. Back to the important subject, Neptune cut off the chit-chat. Tensions with Dynamis are at an all-time high, and they can't tolerate a direct attack on their HQ. They will strike back. War now would be a tragedy, Bacchus said with his soft and soothing voice. Thanks to Ceres, we are on the verge of achieving heaven. A conflict with Dynamis will interfere with that. You and your heaven, Venus rolled her eyes. He is right, though. War is bad for business, Mercury said. It's not always about the money, old man, Pluto replied. Sometimes it's about respect. You want Alphonse Manada back in town? Neptune snickered. Because they will recall that madman if we push them far, and then there will be blood in the streets. Ryan didn't say anything when they argued, trying to assess how every member of the Augusti high command fit in. They were clearly divided into a moderate, business-minded faction and more brutal warmongers. Narcinia said nothing, too young to assert herself, but her presence at this gathering implied that she had served a key role in the organization. And Livia oversaw the group discussion like a lioness observing her pack. Though in the end, Ryan's main quest was to destroy the lab that settle his deal with Shroud. So, how did a priest end up making drugs? He asked Bacchus. I don't think that's very Catholic. God works in mysterious ways, the priest replied. All sins are forgiven if done to reach heaven. I don't think that's how religion works, Father. Ryan, Narcinia nagged him. Sorry, Father, he knows not what he says. It's fine, the priest replied, peering into the eyes of Ryan. The courier suddenly realized this man hadn't blinked once in their entire conversation. You may not believe in God, but I assure you, it does exist. I've seen it with my own good lord. I've seen it with my own eyes in all of its divine glory. It? Ryan asked. Don't get him started on this, Venus interrupted. As for Manada, we should have wiped him out years ago. That client has been nothing but a thorn in our side. Honey, Mars tried to calm his wife. Our son, she complained. In the olden days, we would have slaughtered them for less. Felix is just having a rebellious phase. Ironically, for a god of war, Mars seemed rather laid back. He's a naive boy transitioning into a man. He will come back into the fold. In time. Livia's eyes turned as cold as steel upon hearing this. She grabbed a towel to cover her shoulders and stood up. He won't, and there will be no punishment for yesterday night. Livia, Neptune said. That is for Father to decide, she interrupted her uncle. And you know he will see things my way. Neptune flinched. You called him? Livia nodded, and the air grew oppressive. An electrical tension spread out through the atmosphere. Oh my god, we're gonna get to see him. We're gonna get to see Augustus. Why am I dropping frames? Excuse me? Motherfucker? YouTube. Hello. Alright, let's try that. Hopefully. Come on. Come on. Okay. We should be back now, I think. Can I confirm? Yes, I think so. Okay. Let's see. The stream kind of died for a moment. A minute ago or something. Okay, yeah, it should be back now, Luvian, I think. Sorry, I know. Let me just see if we're up and running now. We're back? Okay, we're good. Perfect, thank you. Alright, that is for Father to decide, she interrupted, and you know he will see things my way. Neptune flinched. You called him? Livia nodded, while the air grew oppressive. An electrical tension spread through the atmosphere like a thunderstorm's approach. Everyone tensed except Livia herself. The villa's door opened and everyone stared at them in utter silence. Even Ryan, who was usually unflappable, remained still. A towering, shining figure stepped through the threshold. a faint halo of crimson electricity surrounding his body, making it difficult for others to look at him directly. When he focused enough, though, Ryan began to see the distinguished shape of an old man wearing a toga beneath the electrical shroud. Back when the courier looked into this man's old gaze, he realized that age hadn't diminished him one bit. "My daughter," Augustus said, his voice echoing with the sound of booming thunder. "Why have you called me?" I am on the wrong screen. I apologize. I was trying to fix it. I changed it just in case. Windows 11 is so fucking stupid. It'll like pull up like a crazy amount of information on like the most random screen. Like if I click on this fucking button here to check on my like sound settings, it'll show my fucking email, which is like insanity. Like who the fuck designed this? Why does that information need to be there? Oh, it's so fucking stupid. The entire Augusti High Command had gathered around a table near the villa, and none of its members dare spoke. Allowed to sit between Vulcan and Livia at the Mafia Princess's behest, Ryan kept his arms crossed as he observed the scene. The various Olympians formed a circle, all of them eyeing the leader warily. The Mercury's mummified head had been placed at the edge near Pluto, while Narcinia sat with her parents. And Bacchus, the man made Ryan curious. The priest never blinked or betrayed any facial expression, and instead of looking at Augustus like the rest, his gaze focused exclusively on Livia. Augustus listened to his brother Neptune retelling the events of last night, his body shrouded in a halo of lightning. Ryan couldn't take the pervading aura of dread around this table, as if everyone worried they might be punished for the slightest offense. Even Ryan dared not to crack a joke. He didn't know the limits of Augustus's invulnerability, except that most powers failed to work on him. For all he knew, the Lightning Emperor might be a wight interfering with the other abilities like Cancel did, and unlike Vulcan, Augustus struck the courier as someone who would kill at the slightest provocation. Mob Zeus joined his hands once the tale finished. Neptune had presented the attack as an irresponsible prank, attack instead of a prank. But his brother didn't seem to care. "You summoned me for something this trivial?" "Dynamis will retaliate," Neptune pointed out. "The incident was public." Dude, I swear, I know like Greek gods really well, but their Roman names, I've never been able to memorize them. Like, fucking Neptune is Poseidon, I think, but like, oh, this shit is so, ugh, just call him Poseidon, bro. What are we doing? "Dynamis will retaliate," Neptune pointed out. "The incident was public. They dared to take our son," Venus spoke. "This is simply retaliate." His parentage was the only reason Felix's head isn't in a bag right now. The cold certainty in Augustus's voice made Adam Cat's entire family shudder. Narcinia in particular looked at her feet to avoid Mob Zeus. "Abandoning his duties is one thing, but I cannot stand rats." "He is your godson, Yanis," Mars said with the familiarity of a trusted lieutenant. He alone didn't seem to fear Augustus, with the exception of the mob boss's close family members, enough to use the man's real name. "He is a traitor who broke my daughter's heart," the Lightning Emperor replied, Livia's face of stone. "To think I once expected to call him my son-in-law one day." Just give us time," Mars replied. We will reason with him." "I will show mercy to Felix due to my strong bond between our families, but I never want to see him again. And if he takes arms against us, there will be consequences." A tense silence fell on the table, Mob Zeus turning his head to Ryan and Vulcan. While she remained strong outwardly, the courier sensed the genius clench her fists below the table. The courier took her hand in his own, helping her relax a little. "You," Augustus looked at Ryan. "Who are you?" "I'm Quicksave. I'm immortal, but don't tell anyone." "God and men are only equal in one thing, that is death. You do not fear me as much as you should." Ryan waited briefly, in case it was rhetorical, and realizing that the lightning ass wanted an answer, Augustus did sound a lot less threatening than when the courier called him that in his head. Well, with all due respect, sir, I've seen far worse than you. My god, dude, what a fucking G. Augustus, the man that everyone's shitting themselves, his own brother, who's like a fucking genome god of water, is like, I'm sorry, please, please. And he's like, I've seen worse, you ain't shit. Augustus observed him without a word, and it started to hurt just looking at this thunder elemental. The silence grew more and more oppressive until Lightning Ass turned his attention to Vulcan. As Ryan's superior, what is his power? Alternate reality jumping, Vulcan lied. Lies. Augustus said that without raising his tone, the electrical tension in the air increasing tenfold. What is his power? I don't know. I don't understand it yet. Augustus let the silence set in until Jasmine had to look away to avoid eye damage from the light. The wise woman admits her own ignorance, Vulcan, Lightning Ass said while trying to sound profound before asking the other capos, who is he? No, sorry, I forgot. Who is he? Ryan Romano, real name Cesare Sabino, Mercury said, son of Freddie Sabino, alias Bloodstream, a blood-controlling psycho killed by Carnival 4 years ago. It took everything for Ryan not to make a face of pure disgust, cursing all the times Bloodstream had introduced him to strangers using that name. He had believed that illusion so much that he convinced everyone it was the truth. Strangely, though, he did notice Livia's face soften when Mercury mentioned the carnival. She glanced at Ryan with what the courier took for a look of sympathy. Augustus's halo, meanwhile, flashed brighter for a second before returning to normal. Bloodstream, Mars spoke up. Yeah, I remember him. That body-jacking maniac whacked a few of our guys back in the day. Jasmine's eyes widened. Wait, she's your sister? I don't want to talk about it, Ryan replied. All that time, I thought you wanted to... Never mind. Augustus kept his attention on Ryan. What is your power? I've told you, sir. I am immortal. Quicksave is a violet who can affect alternate universes, usually to avoid death, Livia spoke. His abilities will help me develop mine. You will vouch for him, my daughter? Yes. Lightning Ass nodded to himself before turning to his sister. I marked him, Pluto said. He provided valuable services so far, but if he steps out of line, I'll whack him. After one last cursory glance, Augustus dropped the subject and turned to Livia. My daughter. You approved of this attack? Yes, I did, Livia replied. Then why are we talking about it? Janice, Neptune replied. This is serious. Minerva is my heir and she speaks with my voice. Your role is to advise and mentor her, not to question her orders. Neptune joined his hands. Then what? Prepare for war? Even if we win, it won't be without casualties. There will be no war, Livia said with absolute confidence. Isn't Livia the one who can see through alternate universes? Why is everyone shitting themselves so much? If she's saying with certainty there will be no war, wouldn't she be the person who'd fucking know? The Monada will retaliate in a public manner, yes, but Hector will rein in his sons before things degenerate. He's just as afraid of a prolonged conflict as you are, Uncle, which is why I hired Adam the Ogre to attack us while maintaining plausible deniability. Do you have proof of that? Mercury spoke. I could not find any evidence, and from what Vulcan told us, Dynamis tried to wipe out the psycho trash after she drove them out of town. Yes, I am certain, Livia said. I believe that either Adam double-crossed his corporate masters to pursue his own agenda, or Hector decided to erase the evidence. What do we do about the metagang, brother? Pluto asked. Wipe them out, Augustus declared. I want them all dead, to the last man. Is it worth it? Venus asked. They ran away. To leave your enemies alive, they will return to torment you. I will not take the risk. No man, no problem. Don't care about the resources needed. Don't care how long it takes. Do not care if it is disproportionate. Kill them all. In a video game. And like that, Lightning Ass signed the entire Metagang's death warrant. What next? Sorry, I thought that was Ryan saying it. What next? Augustus replied. My retirement, Mercury spoke. That's a shame. Your departure diminishes us all. It's about time I pass the torch too. I have the perfect candidate to take over my division. Jamie Cutter, Mars guest? Zanbato? Good soldier, Ryan. He looked at Ryan. Jamie has been nothing but loyal and competent since we introduced him to our organization. Men respect him, he is trustworthy, and he gets results. Most capos around the table voiced their agreements, Vulcan included, with one sole exception. I am against his ascension, Bacchus spoke. His opinions on Bliss worry me, and my division runs on supply from Mercury's. I too was against selling narcotics at first, but I knew my place. So will the boy. Zanbato's loyalty to the organization will trump his personal values, Livia said. We made him who he is in more than one way, and he will never forget that. I too validate his candidacy. Augustus listened. Very well, my old friend, he said to the mummy. Zanbato shall take your place as the new Mercury, and you shall be released from service. My home will remain open to you, always. Zanbato's power does not fit the theme, though, Pluto mused out. Perhaps he should take another name. Hercules, maybe. That will annoy Dynamis, Venus snickered. No, the name stays, but he will change his costume. Vulcan? Yes? No worries, bye, Livian! You will build Zanbato equipment worthy of his new divine station. Costs are not a concern. Yes, sir, she nodded. What else? Augustus asked. We are close to a breakthrough with Bliss, Bacchus spoke. I can feel it, a pure strain enough to speak with God. Your obsession with refining this product worries me, Venus said. You overwork my daughter for a pipe dream. It's fine, Mom, Narcinia said. We're making something wonderful. Indeed. Ryan realized that he only participated when it impacted the matter of Bliss. This tribulation will soon reach its end. However, I worry about theft. Geest has sent strangers testing our defenses lately. Strangers? The meta? Dynamis? He couldn't tell, Bacchus said. Looking at Vulcan, you would have my full gratitude if you take the time to improve our sanctuary's defensive perimeter. The defenses I set are perfect, Jasmine said. I am not so certain, unfortunately, Livia said. The odds of an attack on Ischia have been increasing lately. Dynamis, the meta, they can attack that island all they want. They won't get in. I still wish we review them together, Livia said with a calm smile. Do you need our assistance, Minerva? Mars spoke up. If anything, dangers Narcinia. I do not think your presence will be necessary at this stage, the Mafia princess spoke. Augustus didn't seem interested in this topic. As he listened, Ryan learned more and more about which capo oversaw what part of the organization. Bacchus controlled the drug division, which involved Narcinia in its production. Vulcan managed the weapons trafficking, while Mercury handled gambling, casinos, and money laundering. Mars and Venus managed the prostitution and pornography wing. Meanwhile, finally, Pluto handled assassination, hits, and alternative protection services. Neptune oversaw the organization's legitimate business fronts. Augustus didn't say much during the entire conversation, letting his daughter speak in his place. Olivia spoke about production, revenues, investments, and so on. All in all, Lightning Ass seemed completely uninterested in the logistics of his own company. He only cared about his family's authority. He was a warlord, not a king. I think we are finished, Neptune spoke. We are. Augustus rose to his feet. Livia will take care of the rest. Do not bother me again. The Lightning Emperor quickly vanished without a sound, the halo disappearing as soon as the man. Ryan couldn't explain why, but he had the intuition something was at work here. Narcinia, we're going home, Venus told his daughter. We'll pick up your sister on the way, the necromancer, said. I thought she was at Zanbato's house, Mars asked. No, she stayed at her boyfriend's place, and she wants to present him to us, Venus shook her head. She is moving too fast, if you ask me. I hope he has powers, Mars said. See you soon, Narcinia waved at Ryan and Livia. The family politely saluted the other people present and quickly left. I too will take my leave, Bacchus declared. Will you test the refined strain, Minerva? He said, turning to Livia. I doubt so, the Mafia Princess replied. I cannot see what happens in the alternate timelines after I take your bliss strain. The risk is too great. Please, give it a thought. A blue of your power might be the key to divine revelation. Augustus's daughter dismissed him without even an answer. The priest responded with a formal bow. Vulcan, quick save, he nodded. Neptune looked at Vulcan and Ryan with a frustrated gaze before raising his hands in surrender and leaving the villa. Pluto moved to her spot near the swimming pool and continued her book where she had left it. Quick save, she said. Yes, Cruella? My niece's mercy is the only reason you draw breath, Pluto replied. Never forget that. Such nice, friendly people. You look adorable together, Livia told Ryan and Jasmine with a warm smile. Once everyone had left, it's another surprise. Once almost everyone had left the gathering, Jasmine realized that she hadn't let go of Ryan's hand and quickly broke contact. I don't need help, she said. It was nice, but I don't need your help. Sure. I will adopt a hands-off policy then. Your jokes aren't good, Ryan, but you are. I'll give you that. Oh my, thank you, the courier winked. Before turning to Livia, do you know how everything at this meeting would turn out? Yes, with one exception. When my father turned to look at you, everything became unplanned. So she couldn't read the time traveler at all. Good. Ryan didn't know how he could handle someone capable of predicting his every action. Still, he felt some sympathy for the girl. Her situation wasn't different from his own, living in a rehearsed reality while desperate for new stimuli. I would appreciate it if you announced to Zanbato the news of his promotion, Livia said. I believe he will be less embarrassed if it comes from a friend rather than a superior. Sure, that will make more drinks for us when we celebrate, Ryan replied. What did you mean when you said that you made him? We have a war chest of elixirs, Livia explained. Originals that we collected before they could be used, or knockoffs we requisitioned. When unpowered foot soldiers prove themselves worthy of ascension through merit and loyalty, they are granted a potion, Jamie among them. And about your father, can I call him Lightning Dad? Not to his face, Livia chuckled. Rome had co-emperors, the elder Augustus and the junior Caesar, groomed to take his place. He is giving more leeway as time goes on. I apologize for, well, how he treated the two of you. My father thrived in more violent times. Well, he gets shit done, Vulcan replied, unlike the suits on the other side of town. I still don't get why you spoke on my behalf, though, Ryan admitted. Call me a good judge of character, but I can tell you are a great friend if treated with respect, Livia said. And I can tell you are in great pain deep within. Ryan's mood turned sour. Do you want it, he asked Livia, to follow in your father's footsteps? The Mafia Princess had an excellent poker face, but the courier had mastered the act of reading micro-expressions. She was good, but she couldn't hide her unease. Careful, Ryan, Livia said. Here be dragons. Wise words. Tread carefully. You may have a big sword, but there are big fucking dragons around here. Constructed inside a valley. Oh, hold on. Fuck me. That's the wrong music. Constructed during inside a valley surrounded by 5 mountains, Sarajevo had once been a beautiful place, a perfect mix of small pastoral homes and tall modern buildings. The city housed events such as the 1984 Winter Olympics, surviving the Yugoslavian War and thriving in the aftermath. But that was long ago. Today, Sarajevo was a vision of hell, a steel graveyard ruled by a madman. Only decaying ruins remained of the old city. Consumed by noxious purple cloud, the other buildings were factories, weapon development facilities, turrets, and fearsome towers of black steel. The tallest structure was Mekron's fortress, located in Sarajevo Center. No worries, Merlin. Have a great day. I feel good. Alright. The tallest structure was Mekron's fortress, located in Sarajevo's center, an infinity symbol-shaped fusion between a military base and a particle accelerator. That sounds fucking horrifying. This miasma covering the city was a bioplague created to kill humans, leaving only machines unharmed. Robots prowled the streets, from futuristic automated tanks to humanoid 2-meter-tall cyclopses. While flying drones occupied the skies, some of these machines were cyborgs, half-rotten corpses partly animated with tech. The machine army stood there, organized into defensive formation, waiting for the battle to start. Even the river Miljacka, which once crossed the city, had been dried up. When he looked at this tragedy from the heavens above, Leonard Hargrave could feel only sadness. The genome wars had started here 9 years ago, and one way or another, they would end today. Oh shit, is Leo going to kill Augustus? Even long after he caused the end of the world, Mekron remained a mystery. Pythia pieced together that he was a survivor of the Bosnian genocide and the siege of Sarajevo in the mid-90s, and an electrical engineer by trade. His first act upon gaining his elixir had been a terrorist attack against the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia for its perceived softness on war criminals, before escalating to waging a war on Serbia. Things escalated into a European conflict and finally a nuclear exchange. Mekron had spent the entirety of the Genome Wars bunkering in Sarajevo, letting his machines and genomes fight for him. The anti-Mekron front had slowly destroyed the major bases and killed his lieutenants over the past 6 years. Oh, this is a flashback, I see. And today, they finally gathered enough heroes to end the conflict once and for all. "We're ready," Leo spoke. "Yes," the voice of Alice Martel, alias Pythia, answered telepathically. "Shining Knight and Nidhogg's groups are in position." While he was proud to fight along the Shining Knight, Nidhogg's involvement left a sour taste in Leo's mouth. Though he kept to his territory and didn't cause troubles unless provoked, the man was a villain, plain and simple. His followers had taken over a large part of Denmark and allowed their geniuses to run some questionable experiments. Unfortunately, the anti-Mekron front couldn't take Sarajevo without assistance, and the war had called for moral compromises. Nidhogg was willing to help when so many wouldn't, even crossing half a continent to offer support. While he acted out of self-preservation, the Green Genome understood Mekron was an existential threat to all mankind. So while they may end up enemies one day, Leo would cut him some slack today. The living sun gave one last glance at the Iron City from his current high altitude before flying back to the base before flying back to the base at the speed of a fighter jet. Leonard's human body had been transformed into a living star, a mass of solar plasma held together by a heart core and his own gravitational forces. Though he didn't age in his sun form, the genome usually returned to his human self when not on missions, as he felt less like himself the longer he stayed transformed. His thoughts changed from human to that of a star, wishing to burn bright and illuminate the cosmos. You're telling me stars are like, I wanna be a star, I wanna fucking light up the fucking galaxy. That's what's going through their mind. It was a constant mental effort for Leo to contain his radiance and avoid burning everything around him. Today, however, would be a rare opportunity for him to go all out, maybe his last one. In total, more than 500 genomes had gathered in 3 camps around Sarajevo. Normal humans couldn't survive Micron's bioplague, nor stand against his machines. Leonard flew over the camp where everyone was gearing up. The plague doctor, Stitch, finished inoculating the soldiers with additional protection against bioplagues. The Cossack had put on his white night-themed power armor, a cannon mounted on his right shoulder, and a force field shield on the other. Kresnik and Kudlak, the werewolf siblings, had transformed into giant humanoid wolves the size of polar bears. One white and the other black. A Violet summoned war beasts from alien planets to serve as shock troops, while orange genomes transformed into beings of metal and stone. Alice was networking people near the camp's center, while Sidekick stood nearby to boost her power. A beautiful blonde woman with blue eyes, Alice was a powerful seer with the ability to create telepathic links between people upon touching them. Those she networked worked intuitively together like a hive mind, much like Mecron's army. Besides increasing teamwork, Pythia's ability could also be used for precognitive purposes. The more people she networked with, the more she could anticipate the future. In many ways, she had been the driving force behind this alliance. Today's battle would be the culmination of her chess match with Mecron. Sidekick, meanwhile, was an average-looking youth with brown hair and amber eyes, belonging to the Shining Knight group, being a white, enhancing the power of other genomes as long as she remained within 10 meters of them. The trio would soon be rejoined by Calculator, a genius with the ability to calculate probabilities to the point of precognition. This is who I would be. I would be Calculator-based. Pythia, Calculator, and many other blue genomes had debated the plan of attack, from nuking Sarajevo into a guerrilla battle. Everything had been considered. Leo didn't know what made them to decide on a conventional invasion, besides mentions of a dead hand system, but he trusted them. Some, like Pythia, were members of Leo's carnival. Others were hero warbands or vigilantes like the Cossack who had answered the call to war. Dynamis didn't send anyone, but they did give equipment. They were too busy dealing with Augustus. The mere thought of his nemesis infuriated Leonard, reminding him of the dreadful day that he returned to the Costa farm only to find its inhabitants murdered. He had sworn to bring their killer to justice, and once Mecron was dead, he would do just that. The Living Sun, though he hated that name, landed near Alice, toning his body heat to prevent her from catching on fire. "Leonard," Alice said. "Ready?" Like the day I was born. Even before the apocalypse, Leonard had been a full-time firefighter in the London Bridge Brigade. Quite ironic, considering his main power. "How much time do we have?" he asked. "Enough for one last speech if you're up for it." She tried humor, but Leonard didn't hide his concern. "You're sure you want to do this?" he asked her. "You've never networked so many people, even with the help from Sidekick." "We can't outthink a combat AI without the use of powers," Pythia replied. "Mecron's armies are so effective because they fight as one. They have us outnumbered more than 1,000 to 1. Even with superpowers, we need all the advantages we can get our hands on. I'm just saying, the risks are great. Unlike me, you have a husband and wife at home." "Yeah, it's for them that I do this." Leonard couldn't argue with that. It's as if on cue, the various fighters gathered around them, most of them veterans of dozens of battles, others new recruits. Right, Leonard noticed that a few of his other teammates, among them the teleporter Ace from One Piece, let's go! A freckled young woman with long auburn hair, dressed like a rogue with high boots, a red coat, and a feathered hat. Mr. Wave, a creature of pure energy, held together by a fancy purple suit. Purple suit? Purple? Energy? Everyone was looking on Leo. I'm not one for speeches, the red genome glared. The Shining Knight and Needhog were probably speaking with their groups miles away. So I will be short and to the point. This is it. The final battle. Mecron is exhausted. His facilities, those we could locate, have all been destroyed. His last lieutenant, Osmodeus, has been slain. He is low on troops, on weapons, and on options. This is his last stand, and he knows. This should come as a relief to you all. You have all lost something to this lunatic. Family, friends, home. But as they say, a cornered rat will bite a cat. We know, you say that all the time. But this time, the rat may kill the cat, Leo rolled. At Pythia's behest, a light manipulating genome projected the image of two massive war machines behind Leonard. These are Kuhata and Bahamut? I don't know. I don't know. Orbital satellites with the power to devastate countries. Mecron's previous orbital weapons remained in low Earth orbit where they could be destroyed. New ones will fly deep into space. Even I won't reach them. In a few hours, or a few minutes, Mecron will attempt to launch them and wipe us all out. I know, some of you, myself included, were a bit apprehensive with the help we enlisted to wage war. But this is not a battle between nations or heroes and villains. This is a battle between life and death. And now, more than ever, a battle against time. Our goals are twofold. To destroy these satellites before they can be activated, and to destroy Mecron once and for all. Over the past few months, we have cut off all of his escape routes. Today, we fight to the death. Good, Cossack replied. Mecron's death. Yes, Leonard agreed. Mecron surrendered his humanity long ago. He desires to destroy all that makes us human, to replace our hearts with metal, our souls with tech. He is a despot who believes men should be slaves and sees only the worst in us. But he is wrong. Humans are not slaves. Mecron chose to see the worst, but we choose to see the best. That humans are capable of compassion, of art, of kindness, of greatness, and together we shall end this decade-long nightmare once and for all. Today, we take back our planet. His declaration met with a cacophony of shouts and war cries. Immediately after, Leonard flew across the skies, followed by dozens of flyers. The ground forces started to move behind the shield. Now, the moment of truth, Leonard flew above the clouds, facing the shield. He built up the energy inside his core. We all agree Tron Legacy is a GOAT movie, right? Legacy. Oh, that's fine. Middle of the road, for sure. Leo's, wait, hold on. The shield, wait, hold on. Wait, where am I? His heart core unleashed a focused ray of light that burnt the skies. The ionized laser hit the crimson force field and the mountain supporting one of the pylons, melting the stone. And then one of them gave up. The force field around Sarajevo shorted out. Leo's beam vaporized the pylon supporting it. The blast continued its course towards the city, setting an entire street ablaze. The shield collapsed, and Mechron's army woke up. Spherical drones instantly spread out like bug swarms, opening fire on the heroes with lasers, holes opening all over the metal towers, revealing hundreds of beam turrets. Leo's flying allies moved to intercept the drones, but the fire genome recovered from his effort. While he could draw on an enormous power reserve, it needed time to replenish. With the shield down, the other groups moved to action. A flash of green light illuminated the darkness to the east, Needhog undergoing his transformation. The green genome metamorphed into a colossal, kilometer-long serpent with human skulls for scales. Needhog became the world serpent, I guess? Because Needhog is from Norse mythology. The monster slithered towards the city, his venom melting stone while his own forces followed. Purple lights blinking popped up all over Sarajevo as Ace teleported small groups across the city. Explosions shook Sarajevo to the west. The Shining Knight having entered the city, while no heavy hitters, the charismatic leader of men led her troops personally into battle. Her heavy green armor shrugging lasers while she cut robots to her bright energy sword. Her contingent was by far the largest, providing almost half of the genomes participating. Mechron had destroyed their home once, and now they would see justice done. Having recovered, Leo flew into the city, followed by Cossack and some caped fellows. Their allies had cleared a path ahead, engaging the drone swarms, but faced heavy resistance. The towers unleashed hundreds of lasers in all directions, cutting genomes and buildings alike, while artillery bombardments from the defensive turrets destroyed almost every ruined building still standing. And of course, Mr. Wave couldn't help but brag. The show-off had moved in the middle of the robot-crowded street, raised his hands, and said, "Can you feel fear, robots?" The robots opened fire, but the laser and bullets harmlessly phased through the red genome. Because Mr. Wave feeds on tears. Mr. Wave vanished, his wavelength body transforming into a deadly laser moving at light speed, and before Leo knew it, his teammate had carved a path through the robots, cutting the machines in half by simply moving through them. How the fuck do you beat that? This guy's just energy. Like, just cutting through all of them. What the fuck? Meanwhile, the werewolf siblings were busy tearing apart a tank with their claws. The caped fellow charged at one of the metal towers and brought it down by going through it. The other flyers spread out to provide support to ground forces. While Leonard and Cossack moved across Mechron's fortress, the enormous base's walls opened up, waves of jetpack-powered robots flying to them with heavy rifles. They immediately fired a volley of black projectiles at the duo, forcing them to spread out. They slowly moved. The robots' bullets powered through any matter, absorbing anything close to them. Gravity rifles. Zaza, how's it going, man? Leonard had faced a few in his previous engagements, and one had almost torn him apart to the core. He suspected Mechron specifically designed the weapon to kill energy-based genomes. Leonard retaliated with plasma beams, while Cossack hit the machines with his shoulder cannon. I'm okay too, I'm okay, good day. Both sides aimed with deadly accuracy and moved around with grace. The machines dodged with inhuman dexterity and reflexes, while the genomes had speed on their side. Guided by Pythia's network, Leonard had entered some kind of trance, his body moving on its own, as if primal instinct had taken over. No, Leo realized. Leo felt in that moment that he was becoming no different than the machines he fought, shutting down his consciousness and leaving only a battle program. But he was different from the machines. Pythia's network let each individual keep their free will, yet allowed people from different backgrounds and those who had nothing in common to cooperate for a common cause. Their army was united in its diversity, while Mechron's machines were mindless copies, slaves to a despot who considered free will a disease. At some point, Pythia's network began outperforming Mechron's hive mind. Leonard hit one robot, then two, then three. The numbers kept climbing, but the genome's view had been reduced to blasts, black bullets, and burning metals. 50, 70. When will they learn, the Cossack asked, bombarding drones with his shoulder cannon? United in diversity, how unrealistic? I feel like it happens in a country for like a solid 5 to 10 years, and then it all goes down the shitter. Leo assisted them with plasma blasts, the two wingmen coordinating their assault perfectly. Different Leonard, Zaza, but yeah, close enough. Pythia's network even allowed them to overhear each other's over the explosions. And yet, in spite of their impressive resistance, more robots just kept coming. This was something terrified in fighting these machines. Humans and animals felt fear, fleeing after losing, often hesitating before attacking, but not robots. They didn't make a sound and never retreated. Leo fought an unrelenting tide of steel that just wanted him dead. Still, the battle seemed to be going well for them. The Shining Knight's troops held the line on the west side, while Nidhogg had reached the city, toppling buildings and crushing a laser tower with his sheer weight. The corpses of Mechron's undead cyborgs were absorbed by the giant reptile on contact, regenerating his biomass. Once transformed, Nidhogg was almost unstoppable, a juggernaut fueled by death. His troops followed him in his wake. The genome modified the cybernetic or biological implants, like remoras supporting a larger shark. The plan was to have the reptilian titan destroy the defensive towers and then breach Mechron's fortress with his acid spit, though the rogue genius might have a trick or two up his sleeve. As it turns out, he had two. The red genome noticed movement near Mechron's fortress, holes opening up inside two circles, making the base's infinity loops. The two enormous rockets, the size of skyscrapers, emerged from the ground and launched to the heavens at incredible speed. The Kujata and Bahamut had been launched. Leo immediately raced after them, unleashing a plasma beam at Kujatu. Alright, bye, I got a call. Alright, no worries. Bye, Zaza. He unleashed a plasma beam at Kujata. A force field around the rocket negated his attack, and although it briefly shorted, the two kept flying. If they get too far, Leonard couldn't even finish his sentence before blasting a path through the flying robots. If, Cossack replied, flying after the Kujata at full speed. The G-force involved would have crushed any normal pilot, but the Vigilante powered through. Leonard pursued the Bahamut, intending to crush it crush into it and bypass its force field. When a roar echoed, the red genome turned around as a monster emerged from the fortress. A creature looked like some kind of biomechanical dragon. Here lie dragons. Damn. The 10-meter tall reptile had wings similar to solar sails. I think I finally Middle Eastern Lord of the Mysteries. Nice. The 10-meter tall reptile had wings similar to solar sails, its red scales mixed with black machinery covering the chest, the head, and the claws. Its yellow reptilian eyes glaring at the red genome. What the hell was that? A biomechanical war machine? Leonard didn't have time to fight it, or the Bahamut might escape. As if to answer his thought, the dragon pointed at Leonard with both his hands, the claws shining with crimson energy. A crushing force took over the living sun and forced him down. Much to his surprise, Leonard ended up crashing to the ground, the invisible hand grabbing him away from the Bahamut. Although he was more skilled with plasma and fire, Leonard could manipulate his own gravity. While he only used it to fly, he had learned some other tricks too. Manipulating his gravity field, he managed to collapse the effect, bringing him down, returning to the fight. What the hell was that? Leonard asked. A gravity well? Gravity control, Pythia said. It's a red. What? But only humans... Until now. Mecron's powers covered multi-agent systems from AI to nanotech constructs. His MO was to create AI dedicated to the creation of new tech, allowing him to make breakthroughs in specialties outside his own. Mecron was the most dangerous kind of genius, the one who could make even more. But to think he had uncovered the secrets of elixir. Who the fuck made elixirs, though? Do we know that? I thought Mecron made elixirs, but apparently not. The rogue genius couldn't be allowed to escape, no matter what. Gathering up plasma in his core, Leonard fired a deadly beam at the creature. Though it moved at supersonic speed, the monster couldn't outspeed light. But as it turns out, it didn't need to. Instead, it turned its own gravity crush ability on empty air, creating a miniature black hole. The phenomena absorbed the dragon before disappearing. Damn. Whatever the case, it had fulfilled its mission in delaying Leonard. The Cossack had managed to bring down the Kujata. The satellite's wreckage crashing on Sarajevo Street, but the Bahamut had become a faint light. Shit! 73% chance that it reaches, 73% chance that the Bahamut opened fires on Sarajevo once online, according to the calculator, Pythia warned, increasing by a point every 10 minutes. Had Mecron grown desperate enough to fire at his own base? It wasn't about winning anymore. Leonard turned to the heavens, ready to pursue the satellite, even into the dark reaches of space if need be. No, don't. Hit the fortress and reach Mecron. Kill him before he pulls the switch. The odds are better. But the satellite will... Something worse is coming. What do you mean? Leonard froze. If the fortress isn't annihilated, Mecron will kill everyone in Sarajevo, Pythia said, her composure breaking into genuine fear. Destroy the bunker at all costs. What's inside waiting for me? I don't know. I only see black. It's all black. Leo braced himself for battle and flew at Mach speed through the fortress's walls. Mecron was waiting, deep down. Good shit. Good shit. Alright, what is that, 40 that we're on? Yeah, 40. Alright. We'll end it there then, guys. Tomorrow I'm thinking we might not do a TPR stream. We might do, like, the ranking of Lord of the Mysteries, if you guys are up for that. We might, characters. We might do that. And then we can go from there. Yep. Alright, everyone. Have a great rest of your day or nights, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Bye, guys.